It's the weekly armchair kickoff.
Keane, mate, you're muted.
To Devil's Advocate, and today we are reviewing Manchester United versus Burnley. Manchester United have won 1-0, and Manchester United have now gone top of the league. So there's no joint top anymore. There's no chasing. Manchester United now, after 17 games, more or less halfway through the season nearly, and we're top of the league. If you told me this after the 6-1 defeat against Tottenham Hotspur, I would have laughed at you and I would have said, what are you taking? What kind of drugs are you taking? Because I would not have thought this is possible. But here we are, Manchester United in January, and we're at top of the league. And today, joins me by my right, I'm joined by Owen Cockney from the Cockney Red 99 YouTube channel. And so we're going to review the game tonight. Obviously, lots of talking points from the game. Even with a 1-0 scoreline, there was a lot of controversy. Well, supposed controversy. So we will talk through all that tonight. We already have a comment in from Jamie, and Jamie Gretton has commented. Shout out to Jamie. He said, "Brilliant win, buzzing. But first half we weren't that good. Second half we were much better." Absolutely. Look, we're gonna drill into that straight away. Owen, what are your thoughts? Manchester United snatch and grab, top of the league. How are you feeling?
3 points clear. And I'm having a beer. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling fucking brilliant, mate. Mate, I couldn't picture this. There is no way in hell we were scraping a win last minute with a penalty that had been given after the final whistle to get a win against Brighton away. No way in hell did I think we'd be 3 points clear. And I know it's 17 games, and I know it's unlikely that we actually will win the title. I'm not getting completely carried away. But let's just say I wouldn't be surprised if Keane is holding the towel for me while I jump into the canal outside Deansgate Locks, and then he's got a beer, he's got a bottle of Desperados waiting for me, and we're celebrating winning 21. I wouldn't be surprised at that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we capitulated. I'm prepared for heartbreak, and I'm prepared for beauty as well. So, look, Paul Nabil Pogba as well. What a man, and I absolutely adore that beautiful Frenchman.
Yeah, it was a fantastic performance by Paul Pogba. I thought, especially in that second half, he was the real driving force behind their attacks. You think everything good that Man United done today went through Paul Pogba, and I think, look, since the Leipzig game, he's been someone who's been well stood out in Manchester United's midfield. He's been someone who's improved drastically, in terms of form. We're just gonna get into the first half straight away. It was kind of. I thought the first half it was a cagey affair. I think we played into Burnley in the first half. They were going for the more kind of direct approach, and they were going for a kind of a stop start. They were happy with a 0-0 draw in that first half. They were going very direct, and so they kind of sat with two banks of four, that rigid 4-2, playing kind of narrow, and didn't really trouble David De Gea too much, in that first half. But it was kind of a below par first half, Manchester United. We didn't create too much. Obviously, Harry Maguire got the disallowed goal. Manchester United, people that we were lucky not to have a man sent off in Luke Shaw. We could say the other way that Burnley were lucky not to have a man sent off in Robbie Brady. And that also could have been a sending off. But for me, I think it was a yellow card on my side. And it's a 50-50. If a 50-50 is a red card nowadays, Jesus, this game is ruined. Do you know what I mean? How can you get into a tackle these days? If you're going in for a 50-50 and you're saying the 50-50 is a red card, you need to go to Specsavers, because that wasn't a red card. And I think that was absolutely shocking by Gary Neville on the commentary to say that that was a red card. I suppose initially on the first half one, what are your thoughts on the first half in itself?
First half, we made, especially in the first 20 minutes, we made fucking Burnley look like a top side. I was quite annoyed with our performance in the first 20 minutes, because we were sort of allowing them to get forward a bit. I mean, they did in the first 6 minutes, I think Neville commented on it, the balls they were playing in towards the back post as well, they just looked threatening. They weren't very clinical, and we were lucky. We're lucky that we're playing against a side like Burnley that doesn't have top level forwards, as opposed to a side like Man City or Liverpool. But we got away with it early doors, and in the first half, we weren't amazing. And the Maguire goal that was disallowed, for me, yeah, I'm complete agreement with Jamie, man. Definitely should have stood. I think he's got to a ball before the man. I don't think. Look, his arm has stretched out. I don't think. I honestly, if that's being given these days, then how do you win a header? Like, because your arm is going to go down. Like, that's just how it is, man. If you're jumping up for a header, your arm's going to go down. But look, it was given against us, and I thought we weren't going to get the rub of the green. But look, we've got the win in the end, so it's not major, but it should have been given, and I think that was poor. That was a poor decision from the referee, because it was never going to be overturned because of this bullshit rule of the whole clear and obvious thing. Because it wasn't a clear and obvious error, so it was never going to be overturned because it wasn't clear and obvious. But it wasn't a foul. I think majority of people agree with me in saying that it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't a foul, and I thought that should have stood. And then look, you've rival fans then talking about Maguire's handball, which isn't a handball. Like, how can you give that as a handball? He's in no control of it whatsoever. VAR had a look at it.
Why the fuck did I even look at that? Like, that honestly, that annoyed me. Oh.
Yeah, and like you have rival fans now looking at it and saying like, "Oh, that should have been a penalty to Burnley." Clutching that straw, it's like the bitterness and the salt.
Let them look at it. Let them clutch at straws. Let their piss boil even more. I don't care. I love it. We're top of the league. They're getting pissed off that we're top of the league, and it's nice to be back in this position because I haven't enjoyed this position since I was 13 years old. So I'm going to enjoy it, Keane. I'm going to enjoy these little Tottenham fans and Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, and the few Man City fans that exist in the world, getting their piss boiled and, giving it large about, that decision. I don't give a shit, mate. We're top of the league. Where are you lot?
Yeah, exactly. When it boils down to that, that's exactly right. And like, when you look at the second half one, like Paul Pogba, again, as I said at the top of the show, like he was outstanding. I thought like he kept bringing the ball forward, especially in that pivot. I think he played very well in that second half. I thought he linked up the attack very well, and he was someone who, he really kind of got himself about, and it was a performance with kind of El Paul Pogba that we're seeing a lot more lately. Even like I know in the last couple of games he's kind of played in that left kind of inverted kind of winger kind of role recently, but he done it from a deep line position today, making runs into the box, so creating chances, and that strike that Paul Pogba had was a great strike. Now people will talk about deflection, but that was a good strike. To catch that first time is unbelievable. Like, what do you make of Paul Pogba's overall performance? Because it's someone who me and you and other United fans in like this season we've kind of criticised him, but I think he has turned a corner in his recent form in recent games. Yeah,
definitely. And the reason I think a lot of us criticise him is because of what we know he's capable of, and he showed that in the second half tonight. He's capable of being one of the best players, best players in world football. Really, that's not a big statement to make. On his day, he can be one of the top players in the world. On his day, but that's the big phrase there. It comes very, very, very fucking rarely. Like, he has played amazing games for United. That City game comes to mind straight away, that comeback. But he doesn't do it consistently enough. And tonight I cannot fault, his performance in the second half. It was what we originally thought we were getting when we signed Paul Pogba. And that's kind of what we need. If we are going to do a genuine title charge, we need to have a Paul Pogba in that sort of a form, who can play from deep, who can, move his body in that sort of position, get his shot off. The ball he played into Martial was very unlucky. Martial didn't finish there, and he's a world class talent. And if he, we need him in terms of, Bruno didn't look amazing today, and hasn't for a couple of days. And he definitely, I feel like he should have been rested more, and I feel like he probably should have been taken off a bit earlier. Because it's not just a physical. It's just not just a physical thing. It's a mental thing. He was still on the bench against Watford. That shouldn't have been. And I think Bruno is getting a bit tired now. And I think if you have a midfielder like Paul Pogba there that can step up and take the mantle on when Bruno is having an off day, you're making a serious team there. and 21 in 21. We got 21 games left to make 21 happen. And if it does, I'm getting my kit off and jumping in the fucking canal.
I was going to come to Shane's comment there. Shane has said Pogba's been brilliant this season after a slow start. Low key being our third best player this season after Rashford and Bruno. I probably wouldn't disagree with that. Since Leipzig, I think since he came off the bench in that Leipzig game, he's been one of our best players. I think look, he's shown, and as you said, if he can build that level of consistency, it can only benefit us in the long term. Like as I said in previous shows, like Paul Pogba is an asset. Like he might be gone in the summer, but like for now, if he can keep this form up between now and June, I do not give a shit what he says. If he keeps this form up,
if he's lifting a league title, I don't think there's a better way to send him off. I'll cry if we win a league title. I will cry real fucking tears, man. Like I will cry my eyes out, get drunk, make an absolute tit of myself. I will do all sorts of things. But
Shane Dowley there, 21 and 21. He's echoing your thoughts. Commenting then from Jamie against Liverpool. And, the two Burnley midfielders couldn't get near Pogba today. Like, and when they tried to, like, he turned them like a slapped arse. Like, do you know what I mean? Commenting from Shane. Shane says Ollie will move Paul Pogba back to left wing and play McFred against Liverpool. I think that's going to happen as well. I think maybe.
I think he suits playing on the left. I think he does it well.
He gets in them pockets of space kind of a lot better than what Martial would. He's more productive with the ball than Martial. I think Martial done the hamstring as well tonight, so I think Shane's probably right. You probably will see Pogba move back out there, and you'll see Scott McTominay and Fred come back in for their energy in midfield, which I think, look, you will need against Liverpool because they have a very energetic midfield, and so you will need high energy in that midfield. I don't think the Man U match should play on the weekend because though he gets pressed, he often loses possession. So yeah, I think that's definitely one to watch out for. Zeki's in the house now. Zeki says yes, lads. Absolutely, shout out to Zeki, another top red in the house. Jamie says
Zeki's on the
Zeki's on the blue wickets tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Jamie says. Jamie says he might turn his head yet and stay. I don't know what happens. I think he's gone this summer. Then Zeki says in the comments also, Owen 21 and 21, Yeah, Shane
21
and
21 and on 21. It has to happen. It has to fucking happen.
Shane, Zeki and Owen are all saying 21. I'm holding back a small bit because I know there's people watching this now or who are going to watch it. I know that they'll come for me very, very soon if that doesn't happen.
No,
so I'm being reserved.
No, Keane, honestly, fuck them. Because on a serious note here, right? What is football if we cannot enjoy our little moments at the top? Even if if we lose to Liverpool, whatever, and we have our little and we have a dip, why the fuck can't we enjoy this and get a bit giddy and get carried away? Why the fuck do we watch football if we don't get giddy and carried away, man? There's no point in it. Exactly. Why get giddy, get carried away, fucking do stupid shit? That's why we watch this game. There's no point in watching it otherwise, man. This is why we watch it, to get giddy, get carried away, and have this moment. And look, it might not last long, and it might not be the title, but it just might be at the same time as well. So let's fucking enjoy it. Let's fucking enjoy it. However long it lasts, whether it's 10 games to the end of the season or fucking the weekend, just enjoy it.
The comment in there from Dean Fury, he's in the picture there, Sir Alex Ferguson there in the comments. Why not even 10 or 20 minutes for Van de Beek today? Fucking delighted with the win. Get up them steps, 21 is coming. Then we have a following comment in from him. He says, I'm on the corona, not the virus. Oh, okay.
I'm not getting down to the bridge to get another one, basically.
Owen, in terms of like player ratings, we're going to come to the United's full starting 11 and the subs as well. David De Gea didn't have much to do today. Burnley didn't really kind of threaten him really. What would you give David De Gea out of 10?
I think I'd give De Gea a 7 because we've rarely got a clean sheet, and I I don't think Burnley had a shot on target actually.
No, they didn't. I don't think so.
But to be fair, he did seem to command his box quite well. He seemed to come out and get a lot of crosses, which I remember when he first signed for us, he wasn't doing. But obviously, he has improved in his game in years. But I'd say a solid 7, clean sheet. I don't think you can fault the man.
Yeah, look, I'd give him. I'd probably go with 6 because he didn't have to do any kind of. I didn't have to make any saves, but the fact it's clean sheet, yeah, go on. I'll push to 7. I agree. I'll go to 7. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, for me today, he frustrated the life out of me today again. Like I think he's just one of these players. He's so good defensively,
my old man said,
but going forward, like he can't cross the road. And the thing about it is, there's so many times his decision making is so poor going forward. And like I don't want to be negative here because look, at the end of the day, we got 3 points, and it's kind of like, you know, it's we're top of the league and we're happy on the show. But I do have to assess his performance, and in terms of his performance, I think he was okay. I'd probably give him a 6 because he didn't do too much wrong defensively, but he still left a lot to be desired going forward. What would you give, Aaron?
Yeah, I agree with you there. 6. I thought he improved in the second half. I'd say I thought the first half he was very, very poor in the first half. I thought he improved a bit in the second half, but yeah, but still no higher than a 6 for me.
Yeah, so it's 6 across the board. I think Jamie's also in the comments. Jamie says 6. Commented for Shane just before we get to Eric Boye. Shane says rival fans being celebration police for United being top. What would they know about it? Shane, I love it. I love it. Eric Boye, for me tonight again, he made like fantastic interceptions. He showed why he should be Manchester United starting centre back. Quite solid, and his recovery pace tonight for me was outstanding. His position, he always knew where to be, and he was quite fantastic. I'd give Eric Boye an 8. What would you give Eric Boye?
I'd say aside from Pogba, he's probably our best man on the pitch. To be honest, I'd say an 8 or a 9 possibly. I mean, in terms of the blocks he put in as well, and I mean, you think about that Vidra block towards the end of the game. That's potentially. I mean, I know we're getting giddy about it, but if you think about it in terms of 2 points drop maybe today, that could potentially be a title-winning block there. And the blocks he was making today were unbelievable. His covering for Harry Maguire is amazing, and I honestly would not have Lindelof start ahead of him ever again. I don't understand why he ever would. That I think he's probably our best centre back. I don't think any of us have doubted it, but I think his fitness hopefully starts to come into play now.
Yeah, I think look, if he can stay fit, I think that's massive for us in terms of the course of the season. Whether it's we go for the league or we go for the Europa League or even the FA Cup, if we manage to get past Liverpool in the knockout round, which I think that's fantastic. We're playing Liverpool twice in a week. I think that's great because for us, that like in lockdown, like when you look at games, right? You look at games against likes of Burnley or Wolves or Brighton. We can get up for them, but we can't get up for a game as much as a Liverpool game. And there's more excitement when we play them, like because the rivalry, is like between us and them is just there's nothing else like it. So like I'm happy that we're playing them twice in a week. So it's better than getting.
I get up for us playing fucking Tranmere or Burton. It doesn't matter as long as United play. To be honest,
yeah, and Jamie's also in agreement with us in terms of Eric Boye as well. He says that Boye was an 8 as well. Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. Harry Maguire. I thought in the air tonight he was quite good. Did get caught a couple of times in terms of his pace, but look, that often does happen. But again, as we said, like Eric Boye did, in terms of recovery pace, what was quite good. But all in all, I don't think he done too much wrong. And I think for me, I'd give Harry Maguire a 7. I thought he was solid. Didn't give too much away, and it was kind of in a short performance at the back for Harry. So I give him a 7. What would you give Harry tonight?
7.5.
7.5.
I think 7.5. And if the goal stands, I'm gonna give him. I'd give him an 8.5. But the goal didn't stand, so I'll give it 7.5. Yeah,
7.5. I gave him a 7. So yeah, we're kind of in around the same wavelength with Harry. Luke Shaw. For me, with the 2 fullbacks tonight just frustrated the life out of me. in the first half, he didn't get past Martial once. Like the amount of times he could have went to that byline, the option was there for that overlap so many times, and he never made that run. He always hesitated. And for me, I know he's probably like defensively he's better than Telles. I think we can both agree on that. But tonight, if you had Alex Telles in there, this game could have been a lot different. I think we could have got 1 or 2 more goals because that option was always there in terms of that outball, in terms of the overlap. But I think again defensively he wasn't too bad. Luke Shaw I'd probably give him a 6.5. Because he wasn't too bad. Probably offensively he was slightly better than Wan-Bissaka. Wasn't as wasteful. So in that regard, I'd probably go 6.5 for Luke Shaw. What would you rate him?
Same as I thought he got better in the second half, but he's just poor. He frustrates the fucking life out of me, to be honest. He just like I don't know. I'm still undecided as to whether he is like half decent or not. Like I mean, Jamie thinks he was excellent. I thought he had a good second half, I would say. I'd be bordering on a 7, but in terms of the ratings we've already given, I don't think he was better than Maguire. So I would give him a 6.5 just on that basis. But I feel like he did do better in the second half. He was more of an outlet on the left-hand side later into the second half, but he is just frustrating to watch at times. Maybe that's my own sort of an agenda against Shaw because I'm not a bigger fan of his, but I just didn't think he was. He frustrates me to watch him, to be honest, and I think Telles should be starting ahead of him.
Yeah, I think there's certain games you can start the both of them. I think like when you're playing against a team that's going to be like heavy offensively and probably are near enough level to us, you probably start Luke Shaw because he's better defensively. I think against these teams that play a low block, you start Telles. I think that's just something to give us that extra attacking edge. I think that's the way you kind of have to look at it. Who are we missing? Nemanja Matic. For me, first half he didn't do too much wrong. It was kind of just he done his job screening the back four. But I thought the second half when he slotted in beside Maguire and Boye, and he provided that kind of. I know Ricky will probably love this, but the way he sat in between the two centre halves in that second half, and like he always picked up the second ball. He was there to kind of provide Pogba and Bruno to get a bit more freedom to go forward. And you kind of seen the role Matic had tonight. He's kind of crucial to Pogba's role going forward. For me, I'd kind of go with Nemanja Matic. I'd probably go a 7.5. And for him, I thought he was good tonight. He showed in these games against teams at the low block what his role is in the team. What would you rate Nemanja tonight?
I'd say 7.5 as well. I think didn't really put much of a foot wrong in the first half, and in the second half sort of grew into the game. Looked very comfortable when he was on the ball. And yeah, I think Matic is just he's just a great player, to be honest, man. He's I'd say 7.5 for Matic.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, he was a 7.5 tonight. For me, next one, Paul Pogba. Shane Dowley in the comments. I know his rating is going to come in now in about 3, 2, 1. For Paul Pogba, Shane Dowley is the biggest Pogba FC advocate in the whole Manchester United fan base. But for me, look, I remain consistent on Pogba. I said, look, with the whole situation in terms of him dragging the club through the mud and his agent, well, not so much Pogba, but his agent dragging the club through the mud, I wanted Pogba gone because his form didn't warrant his agent's words. But since Leipzig, again, I have to say Paul Pogba has been one of Manchester United's best players. Tonight, again, he was outstanding. And look, he was someone who, like, his goal was crucial, but his overall play tonight, defensively and also going forward, absolutely outstanding for me. I'd give Paul Pogba 9 out of 10 for that performance. I'm kind of one of them pessimists. I never really give a 10, not unless it's a complete performance, but I would give him a 9. I thought he was our best player today. How do you feel about Paul Pogba?
Fuck you, Keane. It's a 10 out of 10, mate. He's done it. He has to get a 10. He bossed that, and I know it's only Burnley, but he bossed that. I just remember when he gets the ball, he's around 3 men, and he just bursts through. He was class, and he showed his class, and he showed why he is rated so highly, and hopefully now he gives that on a consistent basis and does it against those Scouse bastards on Sunday at Anfield.
Yeah, absolutely. If he can play like that against Liverpool, they're in trouble on the weekend. Right midfield, Marcus Rashford. For me, I thought he didn't have his best game on the right-hand side for the majority of the game when he was there. I thought when he moved over to the left, he looked slightly more comfortable. His decision-making was slightly better when he moved over to the left. But it was kind of one of Marcus's more average games. He doesn't look comfortable on that right-hand side, but you have to get him into the team. So for me, I kind of go 6.5 at Marcus. I thought it was just an average enough performance. For someone who's been massively consistent this year, and he's been like our second best player behind Bruno. But for me, I'd probably go 6.5. How do you feel about Marcus' performance?
I'd give him a 6, and it's mainly just because he got the assist. I feel like that bumped him up a little bit, to be honest, because I thought he was atrocious today. And I think in terms of his actual performances, he has been getting goals, yes, but his performances in recent weeks have just been lackluster, to say the least. Maybe he needs more of a rest. I feel like he might be carrying some sort of a knock still. Like we found out he was still playing with injury throughout most of last year. So maybe he's carrying a bit of a knock, but I honestly, Rashford was very poor today, in my opinion. I'd give him a 6.
And it's going to come to Shane's comment there. I think this in relation to Paul Pogba. He said Ollie's management of him after the Asian comments has been brilliant. Jose would have divided the entire team and made it toxic. Ollie has managed to get the best out of him. Do you know what? I'm going to just elaborate on that before I come to Bruno's rating. I think that he's absolutely bang on in that comment. I think if Mino Raiola's comments came out there and Jose Mourinho was the manager, we would have seen Mourinho coming out calling him a virus. You would have seen Mourinho coming out, and you would have seen him lambasting the dressing room. He would have made it toxic, and players would have down tools. But for me, I think Ollie's management of this situation has been good, and we seem to be getting the best out of him since then. So I think Ollie's probably done similar to what Fergie done, and with Cristiano, when Cristiano wanted to leave in 08. He said, look, give us one more year and you can go in the summer. And Ollie's probably said to him something of the same ilk. He's probably said, look, we leave you going in the summer, but for now, just give us your best until June. And I think, look, if we can get that out of Paul Pogba, I think as Manchester United fans, we won't complain. I think that's the main thing. My man, my favourite player in the whole planet at the moment, Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to be honest, hold my hands up. I think it was one of his poor performances tonight. I think in the last kind of 2 games, the City game and tonight, he looks almost burnt out. Similar to Rashford, I think, though he probably warranted a bit more of a rest. But with all these games coming thick and fast and how crucial they are, I can understand why Ollie has played him also. So I'm not going to kind of lambast Ollie for playing him. But for me, Bruno, he did pick up the ball and he did make a couple of good passes tonight. But overall, like he was a bit lethargic. He gave away a ball a couple of times too. So for me, I'm going to give Bruno a 6. It's probably the lowest rating I've given him ever on this show or any other podcast. So I'm being honest, I'm going to give Bruno a 6. I didn't think he was great tonight at all. Why would you give Bruno?
Yeah, I'll agree with that, to be honest. I thought he should have come off a lot earlier than the 89th minute. I feel like he probably should have come off. Obviously, you don't want to bring off Bruno before you get a goal, especially in that game. So I can understand why he kept him on. But after we got the goal, I definitely would have taken him off at least 10 or 15 minutes before. But yeah, I can't disagree with a 6, to be honest. I'd have a 6 for Bruno.
Anthony Martial, he fucking drove me insane today because he could have scored a couple of goals today, especially towards the end. That was brilliant play between him and Edison Cavani.
He did look pulled up though. I think that's why he didn't put his shot.
Yeah. Yeah, like you look at, but overall today he was wasteful in terms of like his passing, his distribution. Thought a couple of times he could have taken on Matt Loughton a couple of more times. I think Martial has the quality. He should have been taking on Loughton a bit more. So I was a bit hesitant. But I'd agree with Dean Fury's comment here. He's probably slightly better than Rashford.
Yeah, he was better than Rashford because he was actually making the chance at least. Rashford was making nothing down that right side. He's not a right winger. I don't blame him. He's played out of position, but he still should be doing better than what he was.
Yeah, absolutely. For you, what would you give Martial's a rating? I'd give him probably a 6.5.
Yeah, I'd say the same, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, Jamie has given Martial a 5. Whoa, you're saying he was our worst player on the pitch tonight? I'd probably disagree with that. I'd probably disagree with that. I'd say like maybe Wan-Bissaka or Rashford are probably our worst players on the pitch really tonight. But really, we got the 3 points, so we're not going to go in on players tonight. But like, if I wouldn't say he was the worst player on the pitch, I wouldn't go that far. But it wasn't one of his best performances.
He definitely wasn't the worst player on the pitch by any stretch, I'd say, to be honest. But look, it's a game of opinions. Everyone's got theirs. You know, everyone sees the game differently. So,
yeah, I mean, absolutely. In terms of Edison Cavani, for me, I thought like I know he didn't score a goal, but I thought overall today, like his movement on and off the ball was quite good. He tracked back as well and actually retained possession for us a couple of times, which I really like. You never really see that out of Manchester number 9 in recent years, like in terms of when Martial plays there. But I thought Edison Cavani, he could have got 1 or 2 goals, but look, he's been out for 3 games. His match sharpness probably isn't there in terms of in front of goal. But like in terms of his overall play today, I thought he was actually quite good. I think he's probably keeping them goals for Anfield on the weekend. For me, I'd give Edison Cavani a 7 for his overall play tonight. What would you give him?
I'd give him an 8. I thought he was fucking mustard. I honestly thought Cavani was. I thought he was top draw. You know, in terms of the chasing back, I mean, I was getting frustrated with the rest of the team that Cavani has to go behind the halfway line to try and get the ball, but he helped out so much defensively. I mean, in terms of like, especially against Ben Mee and Tarkowski, they're 2 bullish defenders, you know, and he looked very competitive against them. He was very good. I honestly thought he was brilliant today, and I think he was he's probably what we've been missing in terms of our proper centre forward, in terms of that front 3 that we want. And look, a lot of people were doubting him as a signing at the start of the season, but I honestly thought he was amazing tonight. And yeah, I definitely an 8 for me. You know, everything but a goal. I thought he was absolutely.
Yeah, I was on that wavelength as well. I thought like, look, he gave us everything but a goal. But look, I won't complain about that because his overall game tonight, I thought he was fantastic, and I thought like he's someone who's definitely has helped us since he's come in. But just before we get to the subs and the manager himself, commenting from Shane, I was going to point this towards you, Owen. Do you think mind games from managers has worked on the referees? No way Maguire's goal should have been ruled out.
I think it has. It will have some sort of effect. It always has, like, because you don't have a man in the dugout, in the Man United dugout, as intimidating as Sir Alex Ferguson. I don't think there's any, you know, manager more intimidating than Sir Alex Ferguson. I mean, you've seen it when Rafa came out with the whole fax thing, and Fergie just boshed it off, and we, you know, battered him at Old Trafford. But I'd say, Klopp's quite a big figure in football, and Lampard as well coming out against it, and Mourinho's just a dick. That's just the way he is, and like, you know, he's a dick. There's no one can deny that. He's a dick. You love him when you have him, and you fucking hate him when he's against you. But I think it will have some part to play, but I don't think it will be forever. Like, I don't think it will be forever, but I think it will. I think it will affect our VAR decisions and our refereeing decisions in the coming games, and especially in the big games. I feel like it will have a factor now, because I feel like referees are afraid to be made of, you know, especially with VAR being sort of their baby. I feel like they're afraid to just, you know, have a mockery made of it. So I feel like that, yeah, decisions will probably go against us a bit more now. Maybe not frequently, but I feel like contentious ones like the Maguire one tonight will probably go against us in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the other managers, I think that's definitely played its part in terms of some of the decisions that have been given against us recently. But what I really want to see, and I know I said I was going to keep this from the preview, Liverpool preview on Friday, but what the fuck? I'm on such a high, I'm going to say it anyway. You all know what I want to see on Sunday. I want to see us get a penalty in the 93rd minute in front of the cop. I want Bruno Fernandes to miss that penalty, only for that to be retaken and then fucking score it. And then let's see their fucking one about VAR and Manchester United fucking penalties. I would really love to see that. And they can clip this up all they fucking want, because I don't these Scouse bastards. They're so wound up recently about Man United and penalties and all this. I know I said I was going to be reserved, but you know what? I'm just after seeing more salt on social media, and you know what? I fucking love it. They're all just a bunch of fucking, you know yourself. But yeah, that's what I want to see. I just want to see a 93rd minute Bruno Fernandes penalty in front of the cop, miss it, then get it retaken by VAR, and then he puts it away, and then. Let's hope that's in the 96th minute then, because then they'll say they have to give an extra time to Man United then as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I want to see anyway. But
basically, mate, you want about as much piss boiled as humanly fucking possible. That's what you want, I think.
I've already said it. Like, if this happens, right? If this Bruno Fernandes penalty in injury time happens and we win this game, right, or even get a draw to stop them going back top of the league, I'm probably going to be banned off Twitter, because people have seen what I've been putting up recently. Like, I'll probably be in Twitter jail along with Donald Trump, if this happens. I'm just saying it now.
Bro, he's going to be in actual jail in a couple of weeks, so I don't.
I won't be there anyway. But we've another comment in from Jamie before we get to the subs. We can only get better throughout the season. I take a point Sunday, but 3 is a big ask. It isn't really though. Their defense is depleted. They might have Henderson and Fabinho playing centre half on Sunday. Edison Cavani will get at the two of them if they're playing centre half, mark my words. But substitutions. Mason Greenwood looked a bit bright when he came on. Didn't really do too much in the attacking sense. What would you give Greenwood?
5. He didn't really have long enough on the pitch, I'd say. I'd honestly just give the start. I'd say 5.
We give all 5s across the board.
I'd say 5, and then McTominay and 2 ends. Well, McTominay at 5 McTominay at 5 as well, and 2 ends AB NA, because he was literally on for about.
Do you know what? I just for some of McTominay's haters, I'm going to give McTominay a 10, even though he's not man of the match, but it's 10 by default. You know yourself. I'm just going to give McTominay a 10 by default, because I have Max Sauce number 39 on the back of my snakeskin jersey from last season, so he's getting a 10 just for that. And again, Toon Sabi is just NA. It's just NA.
That jersey was fucking horrendous. Oh.
Do you know what happened there though with that jersey on?
I'm not talking about the McSauce bit. I'm just talking about the actual shirt. It was just horrendous.
Do you know what though? It was before the Liverpool game last season. I was having a couple of drinks with the lads in the toll gate, like Joe, and we were like, we said, look, we'll go down to the stadium, we'll go buy jerseys before we were going back to the toll gate, right? Because we're after having a couple, and I lost the drinking game, so the lad said, look, you have to go in and get a ridiculous name on the back of your jersey. So I went in, bought the jersey in the stadium, then went out to the little kind of van that you can get the printing done outside Old Trafford. Yeah. And I went down and it's like, I get slabhead number 5 on the back of the jersey. And they wouldn't do slabhead number 5. They said Harry Maguire doesn't like being called slabhead. I swear to God, that's what they said behind the oak. And they said he doesn't like being called slabhead. So I couldn't get that in the back of the jersey. So I turned around and said to them, put Max Sauce number 39 on the back of that jersey. And got it anyway, put the jersey on the minute I got done, went up to the toll gate and sure, had it on all day, and just absolute scenes on toast. Max Sauce number 39, just absolutely legendary. In terms of our manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what would you give him out of 10 today?
Oh, I'd love him. I'd love to give him a kiss on the head, to be honest, mate. I love that man more than life itself at the moment. But out of 10 for today, we've got to win. And to be honest, I don't think anyone could have questioned the lineup. It all looked pretty fine to me, and to anyone in our group chat as well. Everyone was in agreement with it. So yeah. I probably he's got the result, and we're 3 points clear at the top of the league. You can't give him less than an 8, can you?
I was actually going on the lines. I was going to give Ollie a 9, because I think you look at the team selection. It was very positive team selection. We've got all the attacking players in there. And when you look, Eric Boy got the start as well. Now people might say that's because of Lindelof being injured, but he could easily put Tuanzebe in there. But I think all things considered, he got his team selection bang on, especially in terms of attacking talent, but also because Burnley's physical threat in terms of their directness and their set pieces. So I think Ollie got it spot on today. And look, we got the 3 points as well. So all in all, I definitely give him a 9 out of 10 today. And look, we're top of the league now. I think that we can't complain. After 17 games, after that, as I said at the start of the show, if you said to me after we got bet 6-1 by Spurs that going into your game on the 17th of January that you're going to be top of the league going to Anfield, I would have laughed. I would have said, what are you on? Do you know what I mean? I would not have believed you. But we're going to Anfield against the Scousers now, top of the league, and I think that's very, very important. And I think for our confidence, if we lost today, right, our confidence would have been destroyed going to Anfield, and we probably would have got turned over. But now we're going there top of the league, and our chests are up now. I think that's massive that we won today. Not even if we drew, we went top of the league, right, and we would have been a point ahead. But it doesn't have that same feeling now that we're 3 points clear now going to Anfield. And we know now we can go there and we can be top of the league, and we can definitely go out there and put on a good performance. So I think we've a great squad at the moment, and Ollie is definitely building something. And that's something a couple of months ago I would not have said. I've been on this show, I've been on Adam's show, I've been on other shows, and I've been critical of him. But you can't deny the form we're on at the moment, and the squad are playing for him. This son Mourinho, when then results went south, our players were down tools. And Ollie, if Ollie is in Mourinho's position, he would have been gone. But there's a different feel about this squad. And since post Sir Alex Ferguson, I think this is the most likable Manchester United team that we've had post Sir Alex. I actually enjoyed watching this team. Under Van Gaal and Mourinho, I hated watching United because they just put me. It was torture. It was so boring. But this team, they're good to watch. We play in the front foot. We go out and try to score goals, and that's what I love about this team. But look, all in all, I think fantastic win tonight. We go now to Liverpool on Sunday, and this game in terms of the title race. If we go there and avoid defeat, not even win, but if we go there and just avoid defeat, we're in this. People, whether you like it or not, people have to start talking about the title race because we are in a title race now. I know when it was we won against Wolves, we won against Villa, we were kind of tentative to say that we were in a title race. We were joking about 21 and 21. But if we go to Anfield,
I'm fucking joking. 21's always been coming, baby.
Yeah, but in terms of a general consensus as a fan base, because I know there's a lot this fan base, you're never going to win everybody over. We both know that there's no need to go diverge into it. But when you
it's fairly hard to win everyone over, to be honest, mate.
And there's certain
you got to win over, so it's fairly hard. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you consider, Owen, if we go there and we avoid defeat on the weekend, people will have to start talking about Manchester United in a title race. It can't be denied. And I think this bias that everyone is showing against us at the moment is quite telling. And we, even from our own fan base, not even so much from rivals, but our own fan base, there's so many agendas. But we can't deny if we go there and avoid defeat on the weekend, we're in this title race, and it'll have to be acknowledged across the board, I think. So just before we finish up on, what are your thoughts kind of going into Sunday?
Thoughts going into Sunday. I'm going into work tomorrow morning I'm going into work in about 7 or 8 hours. So I'm going to be buzzing, drinking my morning coffee, and I'm going to be buzzing for the rest of the week, buzzing for that game on Sunday. We're watching it at home with my old man because there's nothing else to do for the rest of the entire world at the moment. And I'll take a draw. But if we win, I definitely won't be in work on Monday.
Let's hope they're not watching this at the moment.
I work for my old man, so I definitely will be, but I'll be there with a sore head, I'd say.
And on that note, we're just going to wrap up tonight's show. We're back this Friday on the United Show Devil's Advocate. I'm joined by 2 Manchester United fans, and we're joined by 3 Liverpool fans. We're going head to head. This is going to be, it promises to be a very good show, just like the match itself on Sunday. Lots of debate, obviously, between current teams' form. We talk about Liverpool season, our season. We'll also be doing combined 11s. I can't wait to hear their excuse for not putting Bruno on the team. I know it's already coming. But trust me, I have all my propaganda and all my stats ready to throw back at them. So do jump in for that show on Friday night. And as always, do like and share the video. And if you haven't already, if you're watching for the first time, subscribe to the channel. Owen features regularly on it. And all other Manchester United fans as well. And also, like, we do cover all things Premier League, and we do have our own London Club show. If you're a Tottenham fan and you're watching this and you're so jealous about United being top of the league, you can always come over and watch our London Club show and watch the United show as well, because we do provide good content over here too. But yeah, look, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to Owen as well for coming on this late stage in the night as well. And look, as always, so we're always happy to be here. And just to throw it in again, Manchester United are top of the league. Who would have thought?
21 is coming, baby!
And on that note, we're going to wrap up. Cheers for watching, everyone.